I understand right from the beginning. Whoa, gotta plug this in. Whoa, great way to start. I understand from the beginning that the image is flopped. Do you see what I mean? It's backwards. Well, that's okay, right? We can all make out what this says. The Magic and Moonlight Ball, live on August 24th here at South Deerfield, Massachusetts, home of the Yankee Candle Village flagship store. And although tomorrow is the official Halloween preview party, the day of the year where Yankee Candle releases all of their Halloween products, their candles, their accessories, the Boney Bunch, I'm here a day early. Why? Because I got my hands on all of the products, minus Boney Bunch. If you're here for Boney Bunch, I apologize. That's the one thing that they're holding on to for tomorrow. But I have everything, just about 95% of everything that will be available tomorrow for sale right here in a shopping cart right next to me. And I have this beautiful light on me. We're sitting in the cafe here in the middle of the Yankee Candle Village. And I want to share with you, I want to show you all of the items that you'll be shopping for tomorrow. This way, maybe you can sleep on it, figure out exactly what you want. Does that sound good? Let's do it. Let's not waste any more time. And if you are new to the Candle Enthusiast, the channel, this is a spontaneous live. I usually don't do live videos on this channel, but I figured since today was a special occasion, Yankee Candle Halloween, that's always a special occasion, I figured we'd go live and do this in a nice, concise manner. And if we have a little bit of spare time at the end, I'll take the camera. See, it's portable. It's portable. We'll take a walk around, and I'll show you some of the decorations that they have set up. But let's get to it. Last year, I did several videos. Hello from New Jersey. Laura is in the house. Last year, I did several sneak peek spoiler alert videos. And a lot of folks have been asking me, Shane, why didn't you put out any videos this summer? Why didn't you do any spoiler alerts? Rianne with the super chat, thank you so much. Super chats keep this show on the road. It fuels this show. Thank you for that. I highly appreciate it, Rianne. But this year, Yankee Candle did an amazing thing, something I'm actually very happy about. They did a fantastic job keeping things under wrap, which was the reason why I did a spoiler alert video last year. Because if someone was going to spoil what was going to be coming out, because Yankee Candle always keeps it a surprise, I wanted to be the one to show you. This way I could share my passion and enthusiasm, so this way you didn't see it somewhere else and just be like, oh, okay, well, there it is. I wanted to introduce you to the objects, the candles, the accessories, to hopefully get you excited and amped up for Halloween. But Yankee Candle really did a good job keeping things a secret this year. Some things did leak. There was a lot of rumors, but I figured the best thing for me to do personally was to wait and do my annual Halloween preview video. I won't be just doing a live. I will be doing a full edited video of the entire party here at the Village that spans today, the setup, and tomorrow, all of the festivities, the activities. There's gonna be a line out the door. There is every year. People come flying in, trying to get their hands on the Boney Bunches and all the items that they know are gonna sell out. So without wasting any more time, let's get to it. This year is the first year that it's actually had a name, the party, that is. Last time, or not the first time, it's the first time in a long time it's had a name, since the Witch's Ball. What was that, 2015? Well, this year we have, the name of the party is the Magic and Moonlight Ball. And let me know if the audio is okay. I want someone to be very honest and reach out and say, is the audio too high? Is it too low? Because I can always pop this thing off if it's not good enough. But the reason why it's called the Magic and Moonlight Ball, at least I think so, is because they're making a very big push for this candle that you've probably already been introduced to. If you watch my channel, you've certainly been introduced to. This is a brand new fragrance for 2018. It was a part of the fall autumn preview that was released at the beginning of the summer, but they're really making a big push for it right now. It's called Enchanted Moon. Now, this really deviates from the typical New England nostalgic kind of fragrances. Okay, Rhonda's telling me I sound good, so that's fantastic. And I did a full in-depth evaluation for this candle. Now, a lot of people are not into this. This is a really heavy floral candle. I liked it. I liked it. Is this something I would burn all of the time? Probably not. But look at that label, Enchanted Moon. So it makes perfect sense. There's moons all over the place here at the village. There's also a lot of things that are associated with magic floating around as far as decorations. So I just wanted to clarify that. If there was any, question why the Magic and Moonlight Ball, at least that's my best guess. I think that's a pretty good guess. And so this year, there are 2 Halloween fragrances. Okay, don't shoot the messenger. This is not necessarily a bad thing because there's a lot of positives to this. But a lot of folks that when they hear this, they're like, wait a minute, where's Happy Halloween? The black licorice candle, that's retired 3 years ago. What about candy corn? That was retired 2 years ago. Well, what about Forbidden Apple? Well, that, really only popped up 2 years ago, and it did okay. It's really just your Granny Smith apple. But I know it was a fan favorite. I'm seeing a lot of haze, and I'm not ignoring anybody. I just want to make sure that I'm getting louder, please. Okay, so louder. See, I'm getting a request for louder. Let me know if it gets better, because like I said, I'll take this thing off. I'm not ignoring anybody. I just wanted to deliver as much information as I possibly can, but I can see all of your comments. So there are only 2 Halloween fragrances. Now keep in mind, there's Woodwick fragrances, there's Chesapeake Bay fragrances, and there are of course, essentially 9 autumn fall fragrances as well. So where they lack in Halloween fragrances, we have a lot of fall fragrances. They have been out for a while. Blue Twilight Storm, I don't think I still haven't seen it. I still have not seen Blue Twilight Storm. I don't know if it's going to be out by tomorrow. I don't know what the story is with that. Have you guys seen it in your store? All right, so we have 2 fragrances, but the thing is, there are a lot of different formats. What do I mean by formats? Well, this is a house warmer jar, right? In the 90s, Yankee Candle took this apothecary jar and trademarked the name house warmer jar. That has typically always been Yankee Candle's format. So every year what we see is, when it comes to Halloween candles, is not the full house warmer jar. We always get the medium-sized jars, and here we go. Let's start with the medium-sized house warmers. So the 2 fragrances are going to be the classic Witch's Brew, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the 20th anniversary. I asked several people here at Yankee Candle Village, and they're like, is it really? They can't confirm. Nobody confirmed. Nobody can confirm if it's the 20th anniversary. But like I said, if I've done my math and my research correctly, this is the 20th year of Witch's Brew. And we'll get back to why that's relevant in a little bit. But we do have Witch's Brew. Let's start there with that. We have a satin medium size jar. Now, here's the thing. Medium jars, for the exception of some very rare circumstances, have always come in 14.5 ounces. Some of the swirls were released in smaller jars. Some of the early Halloween jars were released in smaller, medium-sized jars. But most likely, if you have a medium-sized Yankee Candle in your collection, it's 14.5 ounces. And I can't do the grams conversion in my head right now. I apologize. But this year, 15.5. I can't explain it. I don't know why. It might have something to do with the fact this jar does have a satin finish, and it does not appear like this is like a sticker that can be peeled off. You can see, like, here's a good example. It's been nicked in a couple places, so it does look like it's painted on. And what we have pictured is the Edgar Allan Poe raven that has really been the mascot for Witch's Brew for almost, well, I guess this is the third year, but the crow has been around for a while. Purple banner, and then what's all of this stuff? What's all of that stuff? It's very hard to see this, and I'm sure when you get your catalog and stuff. We have some florals, some grayscale black and white florals with some airborne scattered leaves, and then some random botanicals. And this does wrap around 360 degrees. Here's what's interesting. Glossy black lid. I don't know. Do you like it? I kind of like it. It was weird at first, but I think I'm growing to it. And we do, of course, have our Yankee Candle on top of the house warmer jar. Now, Sweet Seduction, let's get a look at the wax. Black, not paraffin wax. Not paraffin wax. We have some form of, I always say soy wax blend. That is what I've always been told. I don't know if there's any changes to that, but that is a softer, smoother wax. I am not going to touch it and put fingerprints on it. Someone says, I'm not a fan. Your comment went by too quick. I'm not a fan of the glossy satin combo. I can understand that. It's a little strange. But I don't know. I think I'm starting to grow to it myself. Now, the Sweet Seduction, now, as a reminder, this was released last year, and it replaced essentially two candles, Candy Corn and Trick or Treat. Candy Corn, years ago, was not called Candy Corn. It was called Trick or Treat, and it was a candy corn themed or scented candle. But in 2008, Trick or Treat was renamed to Candy Corn, and then Trick or Treat became a swirl candle, a candle with candy corn and buttercream. Now that went on for years to become a fan favorite. And Sweet Seduction, in my eyes, is kind of a combination of both. Is it Trick or Treat? Is it candy corn? No, but it's going to give you way more intensity when you're burning this than the candy corn ever did. The Trick or Treat candle was quite intense on certain years, but Sweet Seduction was, I think, a huge hit last year. If you purchased one and you burned it and you're into the sweet treat, buttercream, high confectionery sweetness candles, you like that. I'll never call Yankee Candles candy corn honey-like, but you know, it had that sweetness. And this, with a little bit more complexity to it, the Sweet Seduction is, I think, a nice middle ground. Because remember, a lot of people don't like candy corn. So if you don't like candy corn, give Sweet Seduction a shot. But let me show you what's on it. We have, this is so hard to photograph. Someone says, Laura says, I miss a Ciderweb. Ciderweb was released in certain retail last year. Really, really strange. Ciderweb, from my experience, was always one that was, you would find in non-Yankee Candle retail like Marshall's and Home Goods and TJ Maxx and all that stuff. But I agree, Ciderweb, I have several of those in my collection. Can you see that? We don't have the crow. We have the botanicals, the florals, and all the same goodness that we saw in the Halloween or the Witch's Brew. But we have this wax paper wrapped candy with several candy corn pieces underneath it. So like a Hubba Bubba or Tootsie Roll wrapped penny candy right next to the candy corn candies. So that is our house warmer medium-sized jar options for this year. What do you think? Honest opinions are welcomed. Let me know. And if you're watching this after the live and you can leave a comment down below. I'm gonna read. I always read all the comments. But while we're live, you can't leave a comment on the video. You can chat, but you can't comment on the video. So let's move on to the second format. If you're not feeling the house warmer this year, you're kind of, so let's say you were into those perfect pillars, what looked like the half Bordeaux bottles that we saw last year, the Haunted Hollow, the Forbidden Apple, and the Witch's Brew. Well, they have returned without the Forbidden Apple and without Haunted Hollow. Haunted Hollow is gone. And I don't think any of us are surprised about that. You know how much I loved it. But it's not I would say, something for everybody. You have to be a specific kind of aromatic Halloween weirdo, like a bunch of us, including myself. So we have the same designs on these pillars. These are going to be, I usually don't even read this stuff, 12 ounces. 12 ounces of, again, it looks like the same kind of wax. This isn't a purple wax like we saw last year. This is what I would consider a very dark slate gray wax blend. Whew, powerful though. And I was mentioning this because I'm doing my edited video. I was filming that today as well. And every year I find that Witch's Brew is just a little bit different. Most people probably would never even notice. But when you're dealing with an ingredient like patchouli, you know, you're always going to have small variances because it's such a concentrated product. Plus, you know, it's like grapes, it's like wine. You know, every year, wherever you're sourcing your patchouli from, it's going to smell a little bit different. This year, if you're wondering, if you're one of those people who can really detect the specific differences from year to year, we're dealing with a sweeter Witch's Brew this year. It's a little bit more sweet. It's a little bit less earthy. It's a little bit less of that charcoal that I usually get. To me, this is like Witch's Brew with a big dollop of Coca-Cola on top. You got a little bit of sweetness, and while we're at it, throw a little tiny scoop, not a big scoop, but a little tiny scoop of French vanilla ice cream on there too. It's a sweeter, very cola-esque, another word I usually don't use, but effervescent. Of course, candles can't be effervescent, but there's the perception when you smell this that this could be a carbonated beverage, slightly. So any of you are interested in that, last year it was a very similar situation, a sweeter kind of patchouli, or Witch's Brew. So maybe they are trying to tweak the candle, to, I don't know, maybe open the doors to more Witch's Brew fans. Because let's face it, patchouli is a tough one to sell. If you don't know, Witch's Brew is predominantly a patchouli-based candle, monstrously patchouli. Some people have lovely associations with it. Some people do not. To me, I didn't really grow up with patchouli. So I remember the first time I smelled Witch's Brew, it was like seeing a brand new color, a color for the first time. It was a smell that I had never truly smelled before. And that added to the magic of the witch, the cauldron, the concoction that's bubbling and oozing inside of that witch's tower. She's cooking up something. And Witch's Brew has always been a very special candle to me. Now, let's take a quick look at that Sweet Seduction. Again, let's call it a perfect pillar, just so we have a frame of reference. But again, same aesthetic. We're dealing with a satin finish, glossy top, very shiny, very shiny. I'll get some light on there so you can see it. We have an aluminum lid with the Yankee Candle font on there. This time we do have a colored wax. This is a bright, well, I shouldn't be too willing to say bright, but that is, it's not necessarily like a neon orange color. It's going to be more of like a saturated pumpkin color. So very autumnal orange, or I guess a candy corn orange. And speaking of orange, this is why if you don't like candy corn, you really got to give Sweet Seduction a chance, because this really does have like an orange creamsicle, orange Julius quality to it. I'm not saying it smells like orange, but I'm saying that if you dig deep enough with your nose, I think you'll notice that this will remind you of, what were those cream savers, the lifesavers that had the cream swirled in? It reminds me of those hard candies, the orange candy with the cream. So we have the medium jars, we have the tumblers. Which one do I want to show you next? This one leaked really early this year. This I don't think is going to come to a surprise to anybody. However, what leaked was a digitally illustrated photograph of these vessels. Again, the same two fragrances, but I think still to this day, I don't know. I think Brett from Philly Candleman, Brett, if you're here, Brett may have showed you these. I am not sure. I know Brett has showed you the Witch's Brew in the medium-sized jar, but I have to say, I know a lot of people are not going to be excited with these. I know a lot of people are not going to be excited with the prices of these. But to me, I like this, and wholeheartedly. And I wasn't sure if I would. These are small. Remember, Witch's Brew used to come in the small little jar. It used to, years ago. We have a 7-ounce vessel, and you can see that it has this textural quality to it. It's very hard to make out. I'm looking at it with my own eyes right now, and it's still very difficult to make out. But essentially, it's the same kind of leaves, florals, botanicals that we see on the other jars. Only these have a textural quality to it. The big difference is, well, besides the purple lid, this is the Witch's Brew. Comes with a little tag, with a little elastic band. Snap there. Again, 7 ounces. The big difference, I was not sure through the digital illustration what kind of candle this was going to be. Was this going to be, you know, a faux marble pillar or jar? Was this going to be some strange new vessel? I couldn't figure it out. And especially the lid. I'm like, how is the lid going to be wood, like a wood wick? It looks like a cork. But as it turns out, this is awesome. I really mean this. Both the jar and the lid, listen, ceramic. Yes, 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 people. Ceramic, you know this. Ceramic holds onto heat way more than glass, right? Glass gets cold. The heat transfer, the loss of the heat, the energy from the glass is lost really quickly. So during the summer months, when we're having trouble with our candles pooling and we're like, oh, my candle's tunneling, it's tunneling, it's tunneling, it's because the glass jars are probably subjected to air conditioners, central air. I don't have one of those anymore, but I used to have central air, fans, breezes, drafts, open windows. Ceramic will get hot and stay hot, and it's going to make your candle pool out and burn very efficiently. Now, I can't promise this yet. I haven't done it, but I can almost guarantee that with the thickness of this ceramic glass, you're going to get the best, the cleanest burn, the most controlled burn. This is kind of what everybody wants, right? A set it and forget it candle. You light it, you walk away. There's no maintenance involved. It is 7 ounces, so you're getting a smaller amount of wax. And the main reason why Yankee Candle doesn't make ceramic candles is because, you know, a part of the experience is seeing, you know, although this is a dark glass, I am sure you will see a little flicker and glow of the flame shining through the glass. Well, ceramic, you're not going to get that at all, obviously. No light is going to penetrate this essentially stone, right? But like I said, if you really want to have an optimized burn experience with your Halloween candles, bingo, bango. I hope this is not just a one-time deal with Yankee Candle. They have released ceramic jars before, but I'm really, really digging this look. I wish we had a label on there. I wish we had, I'm going to show you the brand new Witch's label on the large jar. I wish that was on here in some way. But other than that, I'm very pleased. And if I think any of these are going to sell out, I think it might be this guy. I think people might hold, like I did, pick this up off the shelf, hold it in their hand, and be like, "Oh man, I didn't think I was going to like this, but this is really nice, and it's durable." You know, watch I break it. But you know, Sweet Seduction does come in the same format. Look at that. I mean, this looks like almost like pottery class in high school. You can see, you know, kind of like the imperfect texture. I like that. Again, it's like some dingy mason jar that's sitting in some witch's laboratory holding, you know, some form of herbs or spices or some kind of, you know, some form of ingredients. Spooky Villages. Doug, what's up? Everyone say hello to Doug. Doug is a huge advocate of Halloween, as if you didn't already know that. I was talking to Doug earlier today about how much I actually really enjoyed these smaller formats. Again, 7 ounces. I won't dwell on them too much, but for me, so far, I always go with the medium-sized house warmer. I will be buying these tomorrow. Will I be buying these too? Yes, right? When it comes to Yankee Candle Halloween, it's my priority when it comes to making purchases. But honestly, if I were limited to one, I might be walking out the door with these ceramic jars. But like I said, let's not dwell. Let's see. We have one more format. We have 1, 2, 3. We have a 4th format of these fragrances, but this one is a doozy, and I am not exaggerating. I gotta dig them out because I got a lot of accessories in here. You guys are gonna want to see these accessories again. We're gonna get up close and personal, and then make sure you check this video out later tonight when it uploads in high definition. Hopefully the resolution will be a little bit better. So in 1999, if you do a little bit of Google image searching, you'll find a one and only one black band. Black band, if you don't know, was a format of a house warmer jar in the 90s and the early 2000s. You'll find one Witch's Brew black band candle, and depending on who you ask, Witch's Brew has only ever been released in a large, when I say large, I mean a large 22-ounce house warmer jar one time, maybe twice. I don't have confirmation of that. But either way, like I said, 20-year anniversary, 20 years since we first saw that witch on that Yankee Candle label. We have a 22-ounce, full-size, black paraffin wax that's super shiny. Look at the luster, look at the oil, look at the glossiness. Look at this. It's like a sheet of black glass. Well, it is, because it's glass and underneath it is black wax. So it's kind of like black wax. But either way, 22 ounce. And I know you want to see the label. Now, I did a live video of this label, and it really did not do the justice, because not only is this one of, in my opinion, one of the greatest Yankee Candle labels, probably in the top 5 in the past 5 years, in my opinion. I'm going to rank it that high. Not only that, it's very abstract, and it's really hard to make out the details. So let me pull you guys in a little bit closer, and let's see if we can get some decent light. I got good light on me, so I'm going to bring that in close. Now again, it's flopped. I apologize for that, but let me try to point out all of the details for you. First, the cauldron. Inside, green. Something is bubbling, something is cooking inside of the witch's cauldron. We haven't had a witch's cauldron on a witch's brew candle in years. It's been 2014 was the last time we saw a witch's cauldron. And emitting from the cauldron, we have this steam, this vapor, right? Something's cooking in there, but that vapor transforms into that crow, the crow that we see on all of the other Witch's Brew candles, right? But we have this super high saturated, vivid color. This is kind of like, remember when you first time you saw black magic with your own eyes, and you're like, whoa, that's a really very vibrant label. Same thing happened to me the first time I saw this. Up in this corner, I don't know. What is it? Is it a mosaic window? To me, I want to say it's a mosaic window because I think this picture, this label, is up on the tower of the witch's castle. And she's cooking something. She's got something. She's got all of her spices, ingredients in her jars, and she's tossing them in the cauldron. And her only source of illumination is the moonlight pouring in through that mosaic glass, and the rest is black. But this is where things get incredibly interesting, okay? Now, hear me out. I can't confirm any of this, but a lot of you have reached out to me. I have reached out to you. If I take this candle and I move, look at the crow. Look at the crow. There's his beak. There's his head, right? If I take this back and I keep pulling it backwards, and maybe if I just put my finger right there, does anybody see a witch in that shape? Even if I take my finger away, the beak almost for me becomes the hat of this witch. What is going? If this was done on purpose, Yankee Candle, high five. I want to know the artists who are responsible for these labels. They don't tell us, but whoever's responsible for this label, we're talking about a minimalism candle here. There's not a whole lot going on, and yet it's still one of the greatest Yankee Candle labels I've seen in the past 5 years. Incredible. I see a witch. I'm going on the record. I see a witch. The way I see it, like I said, if I take my pinky and cover it right there, I see a witch's profile. That's her nose. That's the side of her face. That is her arm. See that? That would be her shoulder, her elbow, her hand clutching a cane that comes down, and this is her long robe. I know a lot of you see it in a different way, but I'm telling you, this is the whole package here is special. We're getting a 20-year anniversary Witch's Brew that's got an amazing label. It's in the full-size jar. It's the only one that comes in the paraffin wax, which I know there's soy wax purists out there. A lot of them are very close friends. But when it comes to Yankee Candle, I am all about paraffin, baby. Man, you cannot get prettier. You can't get prettier than that, right? Right? I've taken painstaking efforts to learn how to burn these candles just right, because I'm not willing to make the conversion to a soy wax blend or a vegetable wax blend or any other softer wax. Now, with other companies, it's a completely different story, but when it comes to that Yankee Candle, I am and will always be a house warmer fan. All right, so Witch's Brew in the full-size jar. This is a must. Remember, tomorrow there's a sale. If you check your emails, you'll probably find it. And if you don't get Yankee Candle emails, go on the Facebook fan page, the Candle Enthusiast Facebook fan page. If you want to go there, you can go to any fan page you want to go to. But I'm sure you'll be able to find the coupon. It's a buy one, get one, but you do it, it's like 3 times. If you buy 2, you get 2. If you buy 3, you get 3. Free. So if you buy 3 candles, you get a total of 6, right? So you can buy 1, get 1 free, buy 2, get 2 free, and for large jars. And that's really gonna come in handy if you want to purchase Bingo and Sweet Seduction. Sweet Seduction, I just had to check the year just to make sure. This is new for this year, new in that it's been poured for this year, but as far as visuals, aesthetics, this is the same presentation that we saw last year. Oh man, I'm sorry, guys. Paraffin is the way to go. I just get such a better understanding of the fragrance. Where here, the problem is with soy blended wax, it's not a problem, but soy or vegetable-based wax is that the wax itself has a very distinct smell. And it's sometimes when you're smelling the candles cold, it can interfere with, because I'm a big cold, I love just having my candles on my shelf. Some of them I'll never burn, but I pick them up and I smell them. And I don't want to be smelling wax. I want to smell the fragrance oils, right? So I will always be the house warmer guy. Okay. So let's get rid of the candles. You'll also find, along with Enchanted Moon, Moonbeams on Pumpkin has made a return this year. It's already out there. It's already available. As far as the 8 the 8 autumn fragrances that have been released for this year, if anybody just is curious to know, I don't usually share my opinions, but if anyone's curious to know what my picks are, the Luscious Pumpkin Trifle, it's not out of the box. It's not something like, oh my God, we've never seen this before, but it's a really nice pumpkin spice coffee shop experience. I'll leave it at that. But that really was my pick for this year. And it's great because I know a lot of folks have different opinions. Brett from Philly Candleman, for example, was saying how, I don't know if it's his favorite, but how much he enjoys Autumn Pearl. And I never would have guessed. I thought I knew Brett. I thought I knew his preferences. But he said the candle performed great, a little strange, but it smelled great. And he enjoyed it. And then what's another one? If I had to pick a number 2, the Poached Pear Flambe, for the sheer uniqueness and Yankee really trying to find something just a little bit different. To me, the Poached Pear Flambe, not everybody will say this, but for me, it definitely beats the Honey Crisp apple cider from last year, as far as complexity, as far as layers, as far as intensity, and as far as stepping a little bit outside of the typical what we would expect box, but still being very much autumn. All right, so candles are done, and if you're not looking to purchase glass, you're not looking to purchase jars, and you're like, oh my God, can I buy melt cups? Can I buy my tarts? Can I buy my votives in these 2 fragrances? Yes, they're all available. The melt cups, the votives, and the tarts. But let's go over the accessories. Let's take a close look at these accessories. The catalog will be coming out. You might be able to get your hands on it today if you know how to speak kindly and be able to persuade a Yankee Candle associate. But most likely it won't be available till tomorrow morning, but there are pictures that have leaked out there on the internet. Every year we seem to have a tea light haunted house, a silhouette haunted house. And they're usually gargantuan, they're usually shiny, they're usually very expensive. And from what I've seen, I don't see that this year, but I do see a haunted house. Only we're dealing with something that's a little bit like, this is for me, right? I can find a place to store this on the off season. The ones that are like this big, other than like my puppy's doghouse, I don't know where I would put that huge piece of decoration. They're gorgeous, but I don't have the kind of storage for that. So this is a very a nice size, a nice compromise, and it's really pretty too. It does have a very Victorian Gothic, almost like Disney World's. Speaking of Disney World, Anthony, Candle Cafe, huge shout out. He's hanging out at Disney World today. Lucky guy. And he's going to Halloween's, or Mickey's Halloween party. But anyway, this does kind of look like Walt Disney World's, not Disneyland's, haunted mansion. And it is a tea light holder. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to put tea lights. Now, a suggestion on my part is to, if you really want to amp this up, kick it up a notch, go to Michael's, go to a craft store, and look for cellophane. It's really inexpensive. If you can find something a little bit thicker than cellophane, that might be better. Or better yet, not better yet, but you could do this, wax paper, like baking, like sheet paper, wax paper that you could bake goods on, cookies. And what you can do is you line the back of this. Now the cellophane, you might be worrying, will that melt the cellophane? I don't think it will. I mean, it's something that you want to keep your eyes on, but I've done this before and I've never had a problem. But you can line the windows in any color cellophane you want. You'll be much more safe if you use wax paper because it's not flammable, obviously. Or if you have like legit stage lighting gels, like gels that they use for like stage lights, those things can stand temperatures up to like 300 degrees. So that's something I would definitely do with this. Put something behind there so that when the tea lights are illuminated, you can even add an additional light behind it. You'll get some pops of color in different areas or the whole haunted house. Just a suggestion. Here's the thing. Price, $29.99. So if you want to buy it tomorrow, that's fair, because that's a big drop from like the $80, the $100, the $150 on some of the haunted houses that we've seen in previous years. And if you choose to wait for like the semi-annual sale, you know things like this are going to be 75% off. So just think about that. About in January, right after Christmas, going to semi-annual sale, picking that up for a chunk of change. And by a chunk of change, I mean a small amount of change. Let's talk about jar holders. What are we going to put those house warmers in? Well, I can't promise you that I have everything because they're still very much hard at work stocking the shelves, but I think I have the bulk of it, a bulk of what is going to be available. And this is very interesting. I don't know how to illustrate. Well, I do know how, but I have to do it creatively. Illustrate the theme here. There is a theme, a theme happening. In previous years, we've seen witches' hands that hold the jars, right? And then a year after that, we saw a witch's hand with a ring. Last year, we had the skeleton hand, correct? Well, this year, no human appendages were harmed. However, we have a chrome. Oh, God. This is like some crazy, prehistoric falcon or like a baby dragon paw. I don't know. Either one would be, now that I'm mentioning, it's kind of sad, but let's imagine this is an evil dragon that has just been slayed and he's made out of chrome. Well, that's what we have this year. No human hand, no witch hand, no skeleton hand, but we do have this reptilian hand that's fully chrome, really shiny, and I want to show you the nails and how really shiny this is. Now, when it comes to things like this, I used to make things like this, things that pop out of molds, silicone molds. I made things out of plastic and latex and resins. So I usually look for flaws. When I say flaws, I mean like when you ever get those really ugly seams, when on things like this, where you could tell they shaved it down and just painted on top of it. The first thing I noticed about this was how this is almost flawless. Honestly, I don't see the seams. They're doing one of two things. They're hiding the seams in the texture of the kind of reptilian look, or this is a one-piece silicone. They pop that right out of that silicone mold, and it pops that one piece, which means there wouldn't be any seams to this. And I think that is what the case is. And there's a nice felt bottom here too, so this will not scratch your furniture. Before, all we had were those little dots, those little stickers. They put one sticker there, one sticker there, one sticker there, one sticker there, and they're just little felt dots. This has an entire felt bottom, so you don't have to worry about your nice coffee table getting scratched. Things like that really make a difference for me. So, reptilian hand. Let's go from there. I talked about what are you going to put your full-size house warmer jar in? What are you going to put your sweet seduction in? Well, I still want to break anything. Am I still sounding good? Am I still sounding good? Can everyone hear me? Can everybody hear me? Please let me know. We have, again, sticking with that reptilian theme. At first, this looks like a Coca-Cola bottle, right? You got this black base, and I'm not making fun of it. I'm just kind of trying to, illustrate what I see. There's clear glass on the bottom, very shiny, which means this is a glass rim base on the bottom here. But then there's a separate piece that sits inside, and it is a frosted piece of glass that has that three-dimensional dragon skin effect. And I think you can see it, right? I mean, you definitely see how it's much darker down there than it is up here. So if you're burning a house warmer and your flame is moving down, or if you decide to put like a pillar candle in here, or if you put, I don't have one with me, but if you have like a tea light tree, those things are awesome for these pillars. You can have a tea light tree in here, so you'll get illumination all the way through. I like this. I like this a lot. I wasn't expecting to be purchasing a glass holder this year, but you know what? Again, after seeing it in person and holding it, it's a really nice size. It's a nice thick glass. It's not going to get scratched. Some years there's, things on there like paintings and stuff that can get scratched and dinged up. This looks pretty durable for me. But if this is too big for you, and you're looking for a shade of the same kind of style, they got you covered. And Yankee Candle's doing all different shapes and sizes of shades these days. So this is, look at that. So there you go. If you want to do the shade, this is your option. I did not see any, what would you call it? Like shade-shaped shades. Does that make sense? Like I can't, well, cone is the word I'm looking for. Cone-shaped shades. I only saw these. There's this one, and then let me show you your other option. And although this might just look boring, you can't see what I'm seeing right now. I got a spotlight right here on me. Maybe you can get a little bit of that, but this is totally giving me a disco ball effect all the way around me. And I don't mean like a short distance. I'm throwing light all over the place with this thing. So will light shine through this thing? I don't know. I don't think so, because I can't see through it. But if you strategically place some tea lights or some spotlights, or something I do, go to Goodwill, find a wind-up snow globe that rotates, or a wind-up something like a ballerina dancer, or something that you wind and it twirls, or something that's electronic. You can put your candle right on top of that baby, and as this spins, you'll definitely get that disco ball effect. Definitely something that I kind of like. I'd consider it. I definitely would do. I'm doing this definitely. The two shades. I don't really use shades. I love shades. I always loved collecting them, but they're just so hard to store. You can't stack them. And I do believe if I had to guess, there's going to be a glass hurricane jar holder, whatever you want to call it, to match this. Does that make sense? All right, let's keep it going. Keep it going. There's more to see, guys. There's more to see. There's more to see. And then remember, we're going to take a little short walk around. Laura says, I would like to have a votive holder. Well, you're in luck, Laura, because Sophia, a lot of people are asking, is Sophia coming back? Sophia always has, not always, but she's been around longer than I think most people think, and I think Laura knows this. You know, I always considered Sophia to be the cat on the Happy Halloween candle, and Sophia is here this year, and it's a doozy. This one, like I said, there's one other item I think in my basket that I think is going to sell out instantly. This is one of them. There's this very, how do we want to classify this? To me, this looks like a late 1960s or a 1970s. I definitely don't want to say mid-century, but it almost looks like this lucite decor of Sophia, depicted in a very comical or cartoony way. This is a very sleek, elegant looking piece of decoration. This is ceramic, porcelain. Does it say? I'll show you the bottom. You guys be the judge of that. But it's durable enough, and it does have two tea light holders, or I guess they put these in here. I guess you could use Votives in here as well, although I'd probably stick to tea light holders. Definitely think with the popularity of Sophia, this is something that's going to sell out. And in the showroom, there was only about 6 of these. So I know they have more in the back, but I have a feeling this is one of those things that people are going to see the small amount on the shelf and they're going to buy them, and not just one, they're going to buy like several, because this could be something that you could use for like bookends. Definitely you could have more than one of these. So you have Sophia. I was really hoping for Happy Halloween to be a returning favorite this year and see Sophia on an actual candle. That did not happen, but who's complaining? Oh, look what I just found. I didn't think I had it. I did. So I said that this shade would have the holder form. It does, only it has this eggplant colored frosted glass on top. I really wish you could see the disco ball effect. I know you can't, but it's really throwing a lot of light. All right, let me move some of this stuff. There's a couple more things here, things that you're really gonna wanna consider. First thing that's going into my cart tomorrow. I'm gonna be here when the doors open at 10 a.m. I'm gonna have a shopping cart. I'm gonna have my GoPro attached to my shopping cart. Okay, I know. Some people say, like Shane, you should prioritize your life. I understand I might have a little bit of a problem. I get it. I like Yankee Candle. I like Halloween. This is something, I'll put money down. I'll put money down right now. This is gonna sell out. It may not sell out on the first day. It might not sell out the first week, but this is something you will not be finding at the semi-annual sale. This is a really heavy, I can't even show you it because it's so shiny. I gotta get like a Votive here. Pop that in there, and that doesn't even help. This is a really thick, solid glass. For the exception of where the Votive goes in, this is a solid glass, like 3 pounds of glass skull. And it's an evil looking skull. It's definitely a Halloween skull. This is not something that belongs in biology class in high school. This is a spooky skull. The details are so hard to see. But why is this so special? Something I noticed right away in the showroom, they have spotlights, kind of like, these spotlights here. You can see the track lights all over the place, but they have gels on them, so they're colored, right? Anytime I held this up to a spotlight, this whole thing, the light just shines inside like a prism, and the light just bounces around, and the whole thing glows. So if you shine a red light on this, or you put this on like an LED base that gives you a little bit of illumination, the whole skull is going to, it's going to be like a light bulb. It just turns that color. It is super, super cool. Now, think about once you get that votive in there and you light that votive, now you're going to have a flickering flame inside of that skull, which is also going to give you more of that same illumination, and it's going to give you some movement. So it's going to look like this. This almost reminds me of like David Bowie from like the Labyrinth. You know how you would juggle those crystal balls? There's just something very, like I want to hold this. I want to steal it. I'm not going to steal it, Yankee Candle. I will buy it. I'll happily buy it. But this is a really nice little piece. I wish I wasn't tempted to buy more than one. Now you're probably asking, what are the prices? I haven't been mentioning the prices. This is $15. But like I said, if you're going to buy one thing and if you're worried about something selling out, it's going to be the skull that's going to sell out, and Sophia. Sophia was $20, $19.99, and I really don't think the Sophia is going to be around for too long. And who knows? Maybe this might. This was $12.99. That is inexpensive. The witch hand was usually more than that, right? The witch hand. We have a votive holder right there, kind of like the eggplant jar holder that we saw on the full-size one, and $7.99. That's a good price. That's a good price. I mean, a good price as far as like a healthy price. So if that speaks to you, that is an option. And what else do I have? Am I almost done? Are we almost done? We have one more item. There's several things in there that, like I said, they're still putting out. And sometimes here at the village, they have items where it's hard to tell if they're produced by Yankee Candle or if it's made by an outside company. So those I kind of left alone, but maybe you'll be surprised tomorrow or tonight at midnight. Usually at midnight or around midnight, that's when the website becomes very active. So this looks like another jar holder, but you see it's small. It's small, and the reason is because it's actually a tea light holder. And inside, or not on inside, but outside, we have the skull and crossbones and a very dark glass, black glass, but that obviously this will be translucent. Light will peer through here. So you can get you can put a couple tea lights on the bottom. You see how there's no bottom here. You can, and you have two more slots to put tea lights on. This is a nice little compromise. If you don't want to like go all in, because this, I didn't tell you the price, $24.99. That's not bad. That's not bad. Sometimes the jar holders get up to $29.99 for Halloween. But that one, $24, that's not bad. And this is $16.99. You know what? If this was $12.99 Yankee, I think this would sell a heck of a lot more. Now I'm looking at that price, $16.99. I'll be honest, it's a little pricey, but if you are that skull and crossbone person, and if you're like me, I utilize tea light trees all of the time, then you might get a lot of use out of this. And then, I didn't mean to skip this, I just forgot. We have one more votive holder, and this one's cool. At first, you might think it's going back to the reptilian dragon theme, but it's not. It's what we have is a votive holder, but it's held by this. We have a chrome skeleton hand, like Jack Skellington, right? Holding on to this little piece of glass. And the only engineering problem I see with this is that, like, man, couldn't they just put a little something right there? This could tip off, but if you don't have like kids, cats, dogs in the house, or if this is in a place that's safe, beautiful. Let me try to give you a nice close-up look of that. I'm trying to be as truthful and honest with you guys as possible, but it's made out of a different material than this is aluminum. This is not made out of the material from this guy. This to me is some form of fiberglass or like a resin plastic, where this is made out of aluminum, but it does have that felt bottom as well. So I wonder if you could even, you probably could, you could take the clear one off and put on, you can mix and match. And I don't know, I don't want to hold my breath. I thought that might fit in there. I don't see why that would be important if it did, but, or if you have other votive holders or other decorative pieces where this could hold, maybe this could even be a super small candy dish. You know, put some candy corn in there. You know, for me, I always like to put out Reese's Pieces for Halloween, for decoration, but you know what ends up happening. I end up eating the whole, like, you know, the whole bowl of Reese's Pieces. So this might be better for me. Put like 20 Reese's Pieces there. So if I do indulge, I'm not at least eating the entire bowl. I don't know where I'm going with this. So out of everything that we're seeing today, this is my take, guys. In previous years, I've always wanted one of these. I couldn't afford it. I had no place to put it. This is a nice compromise. It's smaller. It's a really affordable price. And like I said, it's like this could easily slip into my closet next to all my Halloween stuff. That is definitely something that's going to be on my list. $29.99. This I'm still debating, but man, just out of the blue, like where did this come from? Game of Thrones reptilian thing. This might be something I have to get, and at $12.99, it's an affordable price. This is a must. Honestly, just get it. Just get it. And if you can, get more than one, because you could probably get really creative here. If you want to turn this into, if you want to put some like LED lights in here that flicker, if you want to put some kind of special battery operated light in here, you could really get creative. There is an actress right across the way, and I can't think of her name. Hopefully she walks behind us so you can see her. I can't remember her name, but she's here. She's celebrating the Magic of Moonlight Ball. Right there. Does anybody know who that blonde is? That's a lot of detail. So the skull is a must, and honestly for me, I mean, of course, the full-size Witch's Brew is, to me, this is the first time in my Yankee Candle, being a fan of Yankee Candle, the first time that I've actually had the opportunity to buy Witch's Brew in the full-size jar. So I will be buying that, but honestly, I'm going to be buying all of them. If there's anything I skip, it might be the tumblers, but this, to me, might take the cake. I really like this 7-ounce ceramic jar. I didn't give you the price of this, and you're not going to be happy with the price. You know what? The price is not even on it. So I wonder if they may change, if the price, they may have altered the price. The price isn't on here. The price I heard was in the realm of $20 each. It's a lot, right? But still, one time a year, first time I've ever seen this happen with the Witch's Brew. I'm gonna have to do it. So that is that. Let me get everything back in the cart. I'm gonna leave this here. Hopefully they don't get too angry with me, but I'm gonna take you into the display room, and I'm going to show you a little bit of them putting it together to display. But right now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and I'll tell you why. Because I am putting together a full, in-depth, edited video of everything that has gone down today, of them setting up the decorations. I'm going to document all of the festivities tomorrow. I'm going to be the first one here. I promise you, I always am. My car is always the first one in the parking lot, even over the first employees. I'm always the first one here. I'm going to document the whole thing. So midweek, I should have a nice edited video. So if you can't be here at the flagship store at Yankee Candle Village in person, or if you're planning to visit in the future, next year, or if you're planning to come for Christmas, at least you can have a nice vicarious experience, a nice edited video, tourism-like video experience, as long as you don't mind me being your host. So let me put these back and let's go for a walk before this battery on the phone dies. But I have to hand it to Yankee Candle. They have, like I always say this when I do lives now, they have updated their Wi-Fi system. And because before you couldn't even make a phone call or send a text in here, but now I can do live videos. I can call the Netherlands. I don't know where I'm going with that. I can do anything I want on my phone. I can even upload this live video without even leaving. I'm gonna leave, really, I hope they don't get mad. I'm just kind of leaving all of this brand new merchandise right here, but I am coming back. Hang tight, guys, hang tight. All right, let's go for a walk. And now I can kind of, my audio needs to be louder. Does that sound better, guys? Does that sound better? I'm gonna keep on talking so you can hear me. Tell me if that sounds better. You might hear a little bit more of the ambient sounds. But does that sound better than before? Still waiting for an answer. Yes? No? That's really loud. Okay, turn down the volume. Okay, everyone's saying way better. That's what happened last time. It bothers me. That might be a problem with the preset on my phone or the microphone on my headphones. But either way, well, let's go for a walk. All right, so like I said, we are inside of, I don't know what they're calling it now. This used to be, before Candle Candle existed, this used to be called the Candle Theater or the Amphitheater. Again, before Candle Candle was established in 2010, because remember, Michael Kittredge, who owns Candle Candle, Michael Kittredge III, his father was the creator of Yankee Candle back in the early 70s. A lot of history here at this place. So what we're doing is we're exiting, I think it's the Oban Pan Cafe. It used to be the Chandler's Cafe, but we're entering the Candle Emporium. Yes, guys, this is where you all want to be. When everyone's Yankee Candle shopping, essentially every season, every candle, anything you're looking for, if they have it in stock, it's in this room. And check this out, something I didn't show you, Candle Power. Remember my Candle Power video in New York City last year, down in Soho? This is the same house warmer jar. They moved it from New York City all the way up here. So it found a good home. I was gonna offer them money for it when they were done in New York City. I don't think I would have been able to afford it, but at least it has found a good home. So as we make our way through the Candle Emporium, look how big. Days of fragrances. Let's celebrate a little bit of Halloween, okay? Again, the theme this year is the Magic and Moonlight Ball. And if we move over here, I do want to preface, because they still are very much hard at work, it's written in reverse, I apologize. Pardon our appearance. Pardon their appearance. They're putting a lot of hard work into all of the details, but the folks who are putting together the display gave me full permission to show the process of them fully decorating. They are not done. They're going to be working probably to midnight. I think midnight is when they call it quits. But they've been working all day. I've even seen they've done a bunch of stuff since I last came into this room. So at the center of the room, let me back up a little bit. We have this, remember, Magic and Moonlight Ball. We have this gypsy-esque fortune teller stagecoach. Oh man, I love it. You know, you can see the stagecoach wheels, you can see the wagon, we see the signs that say beware, but we can actually go into the stagecoach. Let's get closer. And you can see all of the hand-painted ornate detail. These folks are insane. Look at this. There's real branches. They're real, hanging from the ceiling. We have what looks like, you know, all of that moss that we'll see when we head down south, hanging from the trees. We have tree trunks. Just tree trunks in the Yankee Candle Village, folks. Come on. But we gotta check out this stagecoach. So down here, you know, we'll see that we have the witch, and she's holding her little magic ball. We have our candles and jar holders. These are real authentic cabinets that they pull out every year. I'll show you the ones behind me. They have yet to stock them yet. Ooh, and they've put out some Nightmare Before Christmas paraphernalia since I've been out here last. And there is our moon right up there in the corner. You see that? So the moon is the centerpiece of this room. Well, maybe, I think the true centerpiece is the stagecoach. Again, let me back up a little bit further. It's really hard to get it all in one shot. But as we get in close, look at this. We have these magically levitating, almost very relaxing looking tarot cards that are just like slowly tornadoing, right? That's not a word, but you know what I'm saying. They're swirling, swaying in the air, if magically, if I casted a spell and made them do so. We have our crystal ball, Madame Ruby's crystal ball, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's what I always think of. And Horror Queen has a sad face. Why does she have a sad face? Oh, because Cat's local candle store is closing this week. I apologize about that. That's kind of a buzzkill, isn't it? But we have all of our accessories down here. We have all of our candles. Now, like I said, I told you about these skulls. There's one. There's one. And you're telling me that they're not going to sell out quick? I mean, they're not even officially released. And look at these ceramic jars. How many are missing already? There's some missing up here, too. Let's walk around the other side. Okay, so at the center of the moonlight, or the moon, we do have the Enchanted Moon candle. I'm guessing that will be fully loaded with Enchanted Moon. If you are a fan of that fragrance, there is going to be no shortage of it tomorrow, I don't think. And then I'm seeing a bunch of these. We're familiar with these, right? The flickering LED canvases. That one's kind of spooky. Skeleton, floating in a void of blackness. Here are our melt cups. Kind of cool designs, too, on our melt cups. But again, only two fragrances, the Sweet Seduction and the Witch, or the Sweet Seduction and the Witch's Brew. Let's keep moving around. So we get, that's kind of the general, that's the Yankee Candle general store. So this is usually, from my experience, where they usually have the Halloween display set up. Last year was a little bit different. We also have some of our autumn releases here and some of our autumn accessories. Some of them, because the rest of them are going to be in the room we just came through, the Candle Emporium. And remember I said, the Sophias. The Sophias, there wasn't a bunch of them. Look at that, look at how crazy old these cabinets here are. I've heard through the grapevine from people who've been here for long haul, 20 plus years, that a lot of this furniture has been here since like my Kittredge days. We're talking like late 80s, mid 80s. But look at this. 3 Sophias. 3. What's going to happen tomorrow is people are going to be rushing down this hallway right here with their shopping carts. First thing you're going to see, Sophia. They are going to disappear. Not that they're going to restock. I'm sure they're going to restock. But I really think that it's going to be a popular seller. And then, again, some of the other accessories here. Some skulls. What they really seem to have no shortage of are the candles, the medium-size house warmers and the large 22-ounce house warmers. I'm actually even seeing somewhat of a shortage of the haunted houses. There's a few. Some up here. But I think really the one thing you won't have to worry about tomorrow as far as things selling out are the candles themselves. Maybe for the exception of the ceramic ones. So that kind of wraps it up, guys. I really want to make this, I really want to push you guys here. There's so much to see. There's so much that I've already documented. There's so much more that I'm going to be documenting here at the Yankee Candle Village for the Halloween Magic and Moonlight Party. But I'm going to be filming and editing that video, making it really pretty, making it very nice, clean, watchable, something that you can watch this year, maybe pop it on next year. If you want to check out last year's party, right here, check out on my channel. 2017, 2016, I did the same exact thing. I documented all those parties, and these are like my favorite videos to create because it's like a 2 to 3 day multi-day shoot or filming for me. So I really want to thank all of you for joining in on this somewhat of a spontaneous live video here at the Yankee Candle Village. You will be seeing a whole lot of me in the near future. We have a lot of autumn candles and activities to partake in, but we're getting close to that Halloween season. So we got a lot of Halloween activities as well. I'm gonna sign out for now, but thank you all for watching. I will be seeing you folks again, I just said that. But until then, be good. And make sure you hit that thumbs up button before you sign out for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.